There was a man who lived in a small town near the mountains. From the outside, his life looked ordinary. A simple house, a steady routine, neighbors who greeted him every morning as if everything was fine. But inside, he carried something heavy. Not in his hands, not on his shoulders, but in his heart. Every disappointment became a stone. Every mistake added weight. Every regret slipped quietly into an invisible backpack he wore each day. When he lost his job, another stone dropped inside. When love left, another followed. On nights when he felt he wasn't enough, the bag seemed to double in weight. Over time, he grew tired, not from work, but from carrying everything alone. He laughed when expected, nodded during conversations, and kept moving forward. Yet with every step, the unseen stones pressed harder against his spirit. One evening, after a particularly long day, he walked toward the mountains behind his town. He didn't plan to. His feet simply moved, as if searching for something his mind could not name. The air grew cooler as he climbed. The town's noise faded behind him, but the weight inside him did not fade. Instead, he imagined the stones shifting in his invisible backpack, digging deeper into his back. Each memory replayed itself. Each "what if" echoed louder. Why did he hold on so tightly? Why did every failure feel permanent? The path was not steep, yet his breathing became heavy. His legs trembled, not from the climb, but from years of silent endurance. By the time he reached a clearing near the top, exhaustion had wrapped around him like a shadow. He realized something frightening. He was not just tired of life. He was tired of carrying it the way he had been. At the top stood an old wooden bench overlooking the valley. The sky was painted in gold and soft orange as the sun prepared to disappear. He sat down, staring at the horizon. An older man was already there. They shared silence at first, a quiet that felt strangely comforting. After a while, the older man spoke gently. "You look like you're carrying too much." He let out a small breath. "Everyone carries something." The older man nodded. "Yes, but not everyone knows when to put it down." Those words settled deeply. "What if I don't know how?" he asked quietly. Without answering directly, the older man picked up a small stone from the ground and placed it in his hand. "Hold this." He held it, confused but obedient, watching the sun sink lower in the sky. "Now squeeze it," the older man said softly. He tightened his grip around the small stone. At first, nothing happened. It felt harmless, light, almost meaningless. But as seconds turned into a minute, his fingers began to ache. His palm throbbed. The stone pressed into his skin sharper than before. "Why does it hurt?" the older man asked. "Because I'm holding it too tight." The older man gave a gentle smile. "The stone isn't the problem. The holding is." The words hung in the evening air. In that moment, he understood. The job loss was a stone. The broken relationship was a stone. The shame, the doubt, the fear, stones. None of them were crushing him on their own. It was his grip. Slowly, he opened his hand. The stone fell beside the bench, landing softly against the earth. And something inside him, too. The next morning, nothing outside had changed. The job was still gone. The past was still real. The unanswered questions still existed. But something inside felt different, lighter. He began noticing when he was gripping too tightly, replaying old conversations, blaming himself for things long finished, predicting failure before trying again. Each time, he asked himself a simple question. Am I holding this, or is this holding me? Sometimes he still held on. Healing was not instant, but now he understood he had a choice. He could acknowledge the stone without squeezing it. He could remember without reliving. He could accept without punishing himself. One by one, the invisible stones became easier to set down, not thrown away, not denied, just released. And with each release, his steps felt steadier. Life will always hand us stones. Mistakes, losses, regrets. They are part of being human. But suffering often grows not from the stones themselves, but from how tightly we hold them. Letting go does not mean forgetting or pretending nothing happened. It means loosening the grip that keeps pain alive. Sometimes peace is not about removing the weight, but about realizing we can open our hands. And when we do, even the heaviest burdens begin to feel lighter.